This is your daily market recap for April 20th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Wednesday, 4/20/2022. Let's get into it. Again, if you're newer to the channel and this conversation and these daily recaps and all this educational video, subscribe. Come on, check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below in this video. Trust me, it'll be worth it. If you have questions, plenty of stuff. Again, people who are newer, look at the side rooms here. This is where all the content is stored. Feel free to check it all out. And if you have questions, again, ask. Worst case scenario is someone says nothing. Usually I'll respond at some point if I'm not busy, and I love to help people if I can. So on that note, let's get into Bitcoin. Talked about it holding this trend line. Nice long wick and bounce back. Needs to get over, I don't know, I'd say the lows from, what was that, December 4th? Yeah, got to get above that. If not, I could just chop along the channel. Keep it really simple. I'd raise your stops on it. Apologize. Oops. TLT. Wow. Wow. Okay, so here's a quick moment. Please grab a chair, listen up tightly. When you're in a channel, when you break out of the channel and you get pretty straight line move, that's typically the top or the bottom. I call that riding the lightning. When you're riding the bottom trend bound, what happened? You broke out of it during OPEX. You had a doji yesterday on turnaround Tuesday, and now you have an engulfing bar with higher volume rising. I showed you folks on the monthly, hey, check out the channel lows. Now again, people always go, well, it didn't hold. Exactly. And it's like, I can't predict the actual bottom and the top with exact certainty of the price, but look at the action. Indecision. I mean, that doji is so tight. Somebody had the stopping power yesterday, and then you engulfed yesterday, or Monday's open, or Monday's candle, and watch what happens if we get back into the channel. I don't think the rates can go much higher near term because the economy is slowing. I think you're going to see with earnings that a lot of companies are struggle busting. So on that note, let's get into it. The dollar, interesting action. You had this doji yesterday in reversing, coming back into the channel. We'll see what happens here. A lot of interesting action. The VIX holding the 20 area. We talked about this like zone, and you got below the 200 day. Now what? You pop up. Is it going higher? Is the VIX ready to pop? Whew. I don't know. Having interesting. It's tough to call here because you can see this like little zone here. It's clearly holding this area. If it can hold, I think the market should take a dip. Now again, I talked about this. I wonder if you can see the VIX all the way back. There was many years there in the 2000, 2002 where the VIX held in the 20 level, and I told folks about that. Like after the crash, like the start of it, the market just held up in the 20s, and I remember trading this because it was one of those circumstances where people who were newer to trading, they assumed like this low volatility was going to last forever. And it's like, no, we're holding the 15s. I think we're going to hold the 18 to 20 range for volatility because I think the market is going to be rotating. We might be having a bear market or a rotational market where certain parts of the market go up, certain don't. And ultimately, it might be a sideways market. I always tell people this. Check out the SPY. Please don't have biases. This is a big fucking move. You went from 39 up to $160, 65 up to 500. You do the math. Those are big numbers. Watch for the lower highs on the monthly. I keep talking about this. We'll see what happens. Daily, same kind of thing. What did we say we could get up and fill this gap? Apologize, I didn't do alert on it. I had an alarm go off, and we got pretty close. Let me circle this real short term. This is where I think the market's going to take a break if it is going higher near term. Let me pull that out of there. That's bothering me. So watch that for your upside if you're a SPY bull. I don't trust the markets, but I do know earnings is typically bullish. Let's check out the QQQ. Again, up to the 50-day. Talked about maybe filling the gap near 350. I would watch that. Again, IWM is holding up. It's been crappy. Just in general, it peaked first, as we talked about in November, and now it's gone chopping, going lower. This is not, you want I want to see small guys, small caps leading going higher. I want to see them ripping up. They just don't look like it. Posted a video today about commodity weakness and the seasonality and just everything that is going on. And hey, congratulations, gold bulls. We talked about this level being bearish, and it, like, if you couldn't break it, I mean, you literally hit it on Monday and just went, yesterday you held a 20-day the same. You got to hold the 20-day. I know people who don't believe in technicals, just, again, they don't understand probabilities. Like, there's not something out there that is certainly always correct, but look at the 20-day. I mean, on the silver, same thing. Hold the 20-day, you're good to go. GDX, we said this was a problem when it got up in this 40s level. Now you had a professional gap. Be aware, he made a lower low and a lower high today. GDXJ, same kind of thing. Just beware. Again, this one day doesn't really tell you much. It's like, you have 2-day ranges here. If you go above it, maybe you fill the gap. You go below it, it's going to the 20-day. I try to warn people, if you try to look at the candles always in sequence as one thing, meaning something always is going to happen next, you're creating the probability mindset of certainty, which there is no certainty. You can't predict the news. You can't predict everything's going to happen. You got to be careful. AEM, same thing. Professional gap, chopping, 2-day range. I mean, they're all going to look very similar to this, folks. AG. Again, this is AG. Big problem. Big leader to me in silver. Action. Look at this. Broke the trend line. I mean, it's a shitty trend line. Doesn't matter. Broke the 20-day. Hold the 50-day. Better hold. Better hold. Now, again, going from 15s down to 12s. I'm not surprised it had a bounce day, but this is not that powerful of a bounce. Look at the volume. Again, look at the volume. Sometimes the volume matters. Sometimes it doesn't. Newmont, we talked about this thing being like this big-ass trap. Look at that. Doji high, gap up after a monster run. I mean, could it just be a small pullback? I don't know. 20-day is holding. Look at the low of the day. Again, people they don't understand that you're adding layers of complexity to give you signals of probability, if that makes sense. Like, holding the 20-day seems very obvious. Same thing with PAAS, gap and flop. Well, letter X. We sold and called you at 38 because of the 200 month after a nice move. I mean, it literally went from 18 to 38. Nice action. Take your profits, hold the 20-day, then it fails. Just be happy, because this is one where it did fail shortly after VALE. We said, hey, look at that. I noticed today that it tends to have like a lower low before it went higher, a higher high before it went lower. And then look, you had a novice gap, professional gap, and then boom. This thing is just getting beaten. Pray it gets back to 17, even better 15s. Like, this is the playa level. I'm trying to be funny. And prayer. I mean, playa. What up, player? No, that's an idea that if you have that in your mind, watch this area. Like, pray for pullbacks. I know, like CCJ, I was talking about uranium today. Like, this thing is stuck up here on the monthly. It's coming into resistance from the blue zone, and it's an old fib. It held the 20-day, which is great. That's great. But let's see what happens here. I mean, this M didn't really work out, clearly. Again, I'm not shorting it, but I took profits because I think the easy money's done. When something goes from 18 up to 30s in this sector, just take your profits, man. And if I'm wrong, you're wrong. But sometimes it's better to take profits at highs versus try to pray for and hope that they'd retest. Because, again, what we talk about specifically with, say, like, throw on the ag names, we think they're topping up here. They've blown out. Like, look at these monthly charts. Like, these are just, boom, 3 greens. I mean, that was going into like 20, like the housing crash, like the start of it. I don't think we're going into a housing crash, but I think commodities in general are going into a bull market. And when I see big up months constantly, I know what happens. There's going to be some pullback. CF, same thing. This one actually has been lagging. It didn't make like new highs recently. Better hold a 20-day. Holding on to a prayer. Holding on to a prayer. I guess that's the best way to call it. Tech, I hate tech. You guys know I don't own tech. I'm short tech. I'm short AMD from this level. It's been acting like shit. I have half of my position. I want a stronger bounce to reshort it. Same thing with Apple. Like, praying for a 170 bounce. We shorted it from like right in the 170s up to almost 180. It took some off down this action. Said this was not really bearish. Nice bounce. I'd like to get higher. Give me the 20-day. Give me a reference, and I will short it with a tight stop, because that's what you do. MicroStrategy we talked about. Oh, where are you at, homie? Bitcoin, it's going to follow Bitcoin. I don't know if I really like this action. It looks like it's compressing to go lower back to the trend line. We'll see what happens. Oh man, Roblox, you got absolutely shit canned today. I didn't get a chance to check the news, but we said maybe watch the low 30s. That looks like it's a common. Oh, Tesla, what did you had your earnings after hours? I posted the numbers in the Discord room. Oh, I apologize. Let's pull them up real quick for fun. They beat, big beat. Revenue barely beat. Interesting. It's called some non-GA, generally accepted accounting principles, non-GAAP shit right there. Who knows how those numbers are made? Wow, wide and loose after hours. I guess it's a $50 range. It could be bigger. If you're bullish Tesla, you got to get over the 20-day. It's just that simple. After hours, I don't know if it's going to hold. Good old PENN. It's going nowhere. I mean, I like the bottoming action potentially, but get over the 20-day. Get over the 50-day. Like, get over all these moving averages to really confirm something, because it could go absolutely nowhere for a long time. UTHR talked about holding the 50-20-day cross. Things have been acting pretty technical. I mean, I know it looks wide and loose, but if you're patient and let it come to you, it looks all right. EXPI seems to be holding up pretty well, in the sense that I guess it's not technically. I mean, it hasn't gotten beaten to new lows the last couple days. I still like the company. I mean, man, if you get it back at 10, holy shit. I mean, I own a ton of shares. I work for them. I like the company. I am biased. Ultimately, I don't think I'm the best person to give advice on this. Let's end it with XOP and XLE. There's a headline today that Germany is going to stop importing Russian oil at the end of the year. I thought oil would pop harder on this. We did not make a new high. We held the lows. Same thing with ExxonMobil. Keep that in mind. We are chopping here. When you have headlines like such that should be bullish and something doesn't act bullish, let me see if I can find the exact headline. Germany will end oil imports from Russia by the end of the year. I thought oil would pop harder. Now, the drip has been an incredibly difficult trade. You guys know that. We're trying to identify a top. Sometimes, like identifying the bottom, it's very hard. If you're not familiar with why, it's because we're coming into the old IPO price here. No, let me go back to 26. That's, start of the bull destruction, bull market there. Not the start, more like the end of it when it did the rocket shot. But look at here. You can see on the left. That's the area I'm worried about. That's where I'm starting to short. If I'm wrong, I have stops. Again, I do not trust commodities. Watch my recent video on it. I'd put it out today. I don't trust the action in commodities. We will see. If you have any questions, check it out. If you got some real estate interest, please hit me up. Always doing stuff with that. Love real estate. Going to work on a fix and flip with Cody. Talk to you later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.